And a headline that sounds counterintuitive, but is it, Leo? Microaggressions are as bad as overt hatred?
Well, yeah, this is relating to courses being taught to NHS staff at great expense to the taxpayer, obviously, when I think the NHS might have other things it could be spending its money on. But courses on the NHS Leadership Academy's website include a lecture by a campaigner who said that being prejudiced is unavoidable for people born in Britain because it's a country that legalised oppression, so we're all automatically prejudiced. And they're being told, the same person also said in a TED talk that microaggressions can be worse than an overt acts of hate.
So this is Nova Reid, who's this campaigner. Can you explain what a microaggression is for people who don't know what it is?
Basically, a microaggression is a sort of racially insensitive question such as, where are you from? Which is the most horrifying and vicious racial assault that this person can imagine. No, a microaggression is basically an aggression that's so tiny, you shouldn't really care about it.
Well, it's not just racial. I've heard people say that to say God bless you when someone sneezes is a microaggression against atheists.
Christianity. Yeah,
exactly. If you might be an atheist and that might offend your belief system.
No, honestly, if you're worried about microaggressions, go to Glasgow, see a full-size aggression. They're much worse.
Yeah, Josh, what do you make of this? Do you think, I mean, isn't it perfectly possible, though, to inadvertently cause offence? You don't mean to, but you've said something that's a bit insensitive. That happens.
Absolutely. And the problem is that the two are getting mixed up. Because... Right. But it's not a bad thing to find out where these inadvertent things might be. Like, I did one of these, like, anti-racist courses or whatever. My synagogue organised it, and as you do. And one of the things was, because there are black Jews, and that people would go up in synagogue, like at the meeting, go, oh, hi, where are you from? And for a person who's black and Jewish, it might be construed as, like, saying, like, you don't necessarily belong, or why don't you, so I could see that, and I would see, because I would see someone, I'd be, I want to find out where they're from, are they from Israel, are they, and so I would do that, and I didn't realise that it is a form of othering. I don't want to get too,
Then the problem with that is you might ask that of anyone, and therefore, but with the rise of the sort of culture of microaggressions, people are now more likely to interpret innocuous statements as having a malevolent...
They might be, but even if they weren't taking it like that, because I think that, I mean, even if that hadn't happened, I do think that would be a way of saying, do you belong? If you're specifically going up to the one black person who's in your synagogue and saying, oh, where are you from? And not doing it to, and you might be doing it from a good place. Like, you want to say, what's your story? I'm interested to find out how this has happened. Did you convert or whatever? That can be quite tiresome if everybody's going up to the same person.
Yeah, I mean, I get asked where you're from all the time in London, and it's boring, but it's not.
Yeah, well, the idea that
it always goes the same way.
People are interested.
People are interested, but then they don't. They're like, so I'm from Scotland. And they're like, yeah, but where in Scotland? I'm from near Dumfries, and they're like, I haven't been there. I've been to Glasgow, and I don't care. People should just ask more interesting questions. I'd rather have some, racially prejudiced abuse thrown at me, because at least that would be vaguely interesting.
Wait a minute, I'm very confused. I always thought you were from Ireland. So this is news to me. I'm learning.
I think it's all of this.
It's microaggression, yeah.
I think the problem with this article, though, is the suggestion that a microaggression, which we can acknowledge is bad, is the same as overt hatred.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Because we could detect I could say that your shirt with lobsters on it is a microaggression because I'm allergic to shellfish.
Scorpions.
Is it scorpions?
Yep.
Well, I knew it was some kind of crustacean. Are they a crustacean? I don't know. But you see the minefield that we've just exposed. Yeah. But the point is, why is that as bad as an overt? It can't be as bad as an overt declaration of racism or homophobia or whatever. It just can't.
Well, and I think that they want to push. Well, the people who are pushing for this kind of super woke. I think, first of all, this person charging £1,074, including VAT, which is a bargain. It's because it's, they want to make more and more, as people are being less and less racist, they're finding where these actual, these supposed racisms are.
Yeah.
Whereas that's actually people just maybe not knowing any better, and then just teach them that, maybe think about that twice before going and asking this. It's not coming from a place of hate.
I think you just say, try not to be mean.
Try not to be mean.
Try not to be a wally. And that's free. That's advice I gave to everybody in the NHS for free. You don't need to charge £1,074 per person to hear that.
Yeah.